talking about appraised value versus market value. How are they the same? How are they different? And why is it important to know the different terminologies? All right, guys, so the first thing that I'm going to be talking about is appraised value. So you need to understand what appraised value means. Appraised value means that you had a licensed appraiser come in and appraise the property, and they're telling you what the property is worth based on what the comparables in that area are selling for, okay? So that area might mean that your appraiser wants to keep it within a mile radius, half-mile radius, as close as possible. Sometimes they even find stuff on the same street. So your subject property, the property that you're buying, is 4 bedrooms, 1 bath with 1,500 square feet. Awesome. Appraiser's gonna come in and say, well, there's this one house down the street that has 3 bedrooms, 1 bath with 1,300 square feet. All right, there's gonna be another one that says it's selling for it has 4 beds, 1 bath with 2,000 square feet. All right, and then there's gonna be another one that might say it's 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths with 1,000 square feet. All right, your appraiser's gonna come in and they're gonna say, all right, well, which one of these are comparables to our 4 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,500 square foot house, okay? The 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1,300 square foot house, I think that depending on your appraiser and depending on what comps are available to them, they may or they may not use this comp. It's a really tough one, not the same bedding, and about 200 square foot difference. So this is one of those tough ones that you really don't know what they're gonna, if they're gonna want to use this one. I think it's just gonna depend again on what you can find within that 1 to 2 mile radius. Keep it as short as possible. So for our purposes, we're gonna go ahead and say this one's gonna work, all right? You have a 4 bed, 1 bath, 2,000 square foot, 4 bed, 1 bath, 1,500 square foot. This is also another very, very good comparable. You have the same bedding, you have the same bath. This one's definitely gonna have more square footage, but an appraiser is gonna take that into account, okay? And then you're gonna have a 2 bed, 1.5 bath, 1,000 square foot. Doesn't match, doesn't match, doesn't match. Really doesn't make that sense, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and put an X there. All right, yep, there you go. Hold on. There you go, there's your X, okay? So what an appraiser is gonna do is they're gonna say, all right, this one has 3 beds, 1,300 square feet. This one has 1 more bed. This one has 200 more square feet. So whatever this house is priced at, we're gonna give it a little bit of a bump up, okay? We're gonna add a little bit of value there. Whatever they decide 1 bedroom is valued at, maybe that 1 bedroom might be valued at a $10,000, $15,000 difference. Square footage, again, might be a $100 difference per square foot. I'm sorry. Depends on where you are. Depends on the appraiser. This one, obviously, same bedrooms, same bathrooms, a lot more square footage. So they may take a little bit of the value off on this one. All right, and this one doesn't even matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and erase it for right now. And so what your appraiser is gonna do is they're gonna look at this one, they're gonna look at this one, they're gonna look at yours, they're gonna take pictures, they're gonna come in and they're gonna say, well, where do we think this is valued at? For my purposes, I only did 2. I wanted to do 2. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about when I say comparables. But an appraiser is very likely gonna come in and try to look for 4, 5, or 6 comparables and something that's gonna compare it to. If I was an appraiser, it's really, really tough to say what the value is gonna be just one out by only having 2. They like to see more than 1, and if they have to expand their miles that they're using, that's usually what they'll do. The other things that they're gonna put into account, guys, is they're gonna say, well, your house has a finished basement, or this house has a 2-car garage. Those are things that are also gonna affect the price and gonna affect the value that they're gonna give on the house. But for my purposes, I only did bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage, okay? The other thing I do want to say is there's also going to be things that don't affect the value of your home. You know, if the house that you're buying has court and this one right here had wood countertops, guess what? They might add $1,000, maybe $2,000 toward the value of your home, but it's not going to be a drastic difference. Obviously, court costs a lot more expensive than wood, but an appraiser's not going to look at it like this is going to add a ton of value to your home. All right. If you have a fenced-in yard, that may add value to your home. If you have a finished basement, that will add value to your home. If you have really, really nice cabinets or you have a double sink, not really going to add very much value. Again, an appraiser is going to come in and, they're probably going to throw you a couple $1,000s, throw you a bone, depending on the appraiser that you have. But generally, it's not going to make a major difference on some of those minor upgrades in your home. All right, guys, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is market value. So what does market value mean? Market value is what the market says your property's worth. It's all about what other buyers are willing to pay for a property. Let me give you an example. A property might be listed at $200,000. and it has beautiful quartz countertops. It has awesome cabinets. It has a beautiful double sink in the bathroom, nice big mirror, tiled right around the shower. It might have a fenced-in yard. It might have a pool. It might feel very, very spacious. And so you're gonna walk in there. You're gonna say, "Wow, this has a lot of appeal factor. It has a lot of curb appeal. It looks gorgeous. It makes me feel comfortable. It looks very clean. It makes me happy." So I'm gonna be willing to pay a little bit more than $200,000 on this house because this house is absolutely gorgeous. Now remember, all of those things I just said don't actually add value to the house. We've already talked about appraised value, countertops, cabinets, tiled bathrooms, and double sinks. Those don't necessarily add lots of value to a home, okay? Are they gonna add some value? Yes, when it comes to appraisers. But when it comes to market value, it's gonna add more value because you're gonna walk in there and be like, wow, this is really gorgeous and it makes me feel happy. I like it a lot better. So what are some of the things that can affect your market value? Let's talk about it. We have the obvious things: bedding, bathrooms, square footage, garage. Are there newer windows, older windows, bonus spaces like finished basements, finished attics? Maybe you have an in-law suite. These are things that will also affect your appraiser, okay? This is gonna affect your appraised value, all right? That's why I have the checks next to them. But outside of those things, what are the other things that are gonna add to your market value? Countertops, okay? Bathroom setup. Maybe you walk into the bathroom and it feels tight, or it's gonna feel very, very spacious. That matters to a lot of people. Maybe you prefer carpet, or you prefer hardwood. Maybe one adds value to you and one's gonna take away value, okay? Maybe the house has a pool and you're like, wow, it has a pool and I love it and I want the pool. You're more appealed to it, okay? Buyers are gonna be more likely to add a little bit of money and be willing to pay a little bit more for those extra things. Also, I put feel here. When I say feel, I mean how comfortable does the house feel? You can have a 1,200 square foot house and it feels like a 1,000 square foot house if there's a bunch of walls up and all the rooms are very, very tiny and you feel so tight. But you could also have a 1,000 square foot house that feels like 1,200 square feet because it's so spacious and you're like, wow, I love the open concept. There's not that many walls. Me and my family can feel very comfortable here, okay? So these are things that are going to affect your market value. But to basically just make it so simple, guys, market value is what other buyers, along with yourself, are willing to pay for a specific property based on the other amenities and other things that are inside of the property, like this. Okay, obviously, as a buyer, you're going to care about how many bathrooms, how many garages, bedrooms, windows, square footage, bonus spaces. But market value, you're also going to look at a lot of the curb appeal. What's going to also, you look at it and it's like, wow, this is very, very nice. This is going to make me very, very happy, okay, to have something like this in my home. With market value, guys, you have to consider what other people are willing to pay for the property is really what it ultimately comes down to. So my last, final couple comments on this is appraised value versus market value. Appraised value is what a licensed appraiser is going to come in. They're going to look for comps in your area, again, within a certain mile radius, very, very likely. And they're going to tell you what those comps are selling for, 4-bed versus a 4-bed, 1-bath versus a 1-bath. They're going to look at what that same one down the street is selling for versus what yours is going to sell for or what yours is valued at, okay? Market value is going to tell you a lot more of what other buyers are going to pay for your house. Your market value is affected by curb appeal. Market value is affected by that wow factor. The wow factor that as a buyer you walk in and you're like, whoa, like this is gorgeous. This makes me very, very happy. It doesn't always add to the appraised value, but market value, okay, market value is also going to talk, and it's going to be affected by really the way that the market's trending. Is it a buyer market or is it a seller market? Anybody who's been an agent the last year, and you guys have seen the way the market has switched up in a lot of places, and it's really, really turned into a seller's market because houses are being listed at 200 and are being bidded at 220, okay? Because that's just the way the market's trending, guys. 205, 210, 215, and a lot, they're selling for much more than there might have been appraised at. And so sometimes that puts you in a scenario as an agent or as a buyer or as a seller where once that appraiser comes back, you have to renegotiate down. The market that we're in is absolutely nuts, but that's just the market value, guys. There's no other way to put it. If you have any questions, any comments, go ahead, please throw them in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear if you guys agree with me. If you disagree with me, please like this video, share it, subscribe, and follow me on all my social media outlets. I'll see you guys again very, very soon with a new video.